So, I know that I've mentioned this in my first video, but I've been reading All About Love by Bell Hooks, and I won't shut up about it because it's been changing my life. I am a person whose relationship with love is very conturbed. Is that a word in English? I think this is the second time that I'm using it, and this second time that I'm questioning if that's a word. But a very troubled relationship with love. I have been in a lot of relationships, and a lot of them have left me completely broken. And so I just wanted to have this conversation with myself to reflect, especially because I'm a person who I got out of a relationship, a short one but a very intense one, like a month or two ago, like almost 2 months by now, I don't know. And it's been hell. It's been terrible. It's the first time that I've broken up with someone and had to like live with them and see them every day almost. And it's been driving me insane because I am beating that dead horse. I am beating that dead horse. And that's making me question things even more because I feel like this is my wake-up call to reconsider how much I've been reliant on romantic relationships to fulfill something that is an issue within myself. And an issue of myself with others. And because I feel like as a person, when I fall in love, I give myself completely to that person. A lot of old relationships of mine that used to be in a very bad way. My only friend was my partner. My partner became my world, and that was not healthy. I had a girlfriend who she like lied to everybody about me and lied to me about everyone. So I had to change schools when we broke up. And that kind of taught me like, hey, be normal. Don't treat your person like they're the only person existent. You know, it's kind of like trial and error. But sometimes I wonder, I know that my vision of love is very troubled because of how it was handed to me as a child. Bell Hooks says in her book that the first contact we have with love and with learning what love is and learning how to give love but also receive love is with our parents. And a lot of parents, they teach us that abuse and love can coexist when it really can't. I'm not saying that I was abused when I was a kid, but I definitely have a little bit of child glass syndrome. I have 5 siblings and my mom's a workaholic. So I've been raised to be very self-reliant and to be very independent, which, you know, it makes me feel very, it gives me a lot of self-esteem when a low self-esteem when I can't do things because, nobody's taught me them and I'm scared to ask because sometimes when I ask my mom things, she's just like, look in Google, stupid. So yeah, but that kind of has made me wonder, how that reflects in my relationships, because I feel like because I had to be so self-sufficient as a child and I was always only praised for being beyond my years and for being more mature than people my age, I feel like that kind of gives me a little bit of a superiority complex when I'm dating people, because I have only dated people my age. I've never dated someone older, and that makes it so like when they don't understand what I'm talking about, I'm just like, of course you don't, like obviously. And I put myself in this place where I become their girlfriend, but also their mother, and also their psychologist, and also their father figure. Especially with men. much like bell hooks, she literally quotes like, much of my troubled relationships with love have been from my choice of dating troubled men. I relate to that extremely. I feel that when you have the ego boost of knowing that a man relies on you for something, it kind of triggers this instinct that society stills upon you as a woman, that your role is the caregiver, that you are supposed to be taking care of a man in a lot of ways. But, you know, just circling back to that relationship with this guy that I just broke up with, I did everything. It's the first time that I've broken up with somebody and I said, I did everything I could. I got dumped because this person is insane. It's the first time that I got fumbled, quote unquote, and like completely fumbled. Because when I tell you that I would make this guy handmade gifts, I tell him like, we can do whatever it is you want. When I once I made him pesto, he knew that I wanted to do it for like 2 weeks before, and I bought all the ingredients and I planned everything out. And when I was gonna do it, he said like, oh no, I want to order Chipotle. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna make it for lunch anymore. I'm gonna make it for dinner so we can have Chipotle because it's what you want. And dinner, when I was like, hey, do you want to eat the pesto? He's like, oh no, I'm too full from the Chipotle. What the fuck? When we broke up, he spread to everybody that I was suffocating because I always gave him the choice of like, hey, it's okay if you want to go with your friends. Like, I really don't mind. Obviously, you're like very close with them. And I've been a very jealous person, but I've learned how to deal with it. Like, if I'm jealous of, oh, he's with his friends and he's not with me, that's my own shit to deal with. Like, it's not my issue to let it seep into the relationship. No, it is my issue to deal with myself if it gets into the relationship. So, you know, whenever he'd go to parties, I'd be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like, is it cool? Because I was, you know, genuinely curious in his life. I always gave him, I was very low maintenance. I did everything. And he still dumped me. That was the first time that I stopped and I was like, holy shit, I did everything. And it still wasn't enough. And I still wasn't enough to keep this person from hurting me. And I feel that it's because a lot of people, a lot of men especially, they have this vision of love that is so superficial, where they think they're being saviors, but they're just fucking things up and acting like children. This guy, after we broke up, he was like, no, I was only trying to protect you. I broke up with you over the phone just because I didn't want to see you crying. It would have been too awkward, and I would have begun crying too. Just to hide the fact that they don't respect you as a person. Bell Hooks says that love is a very complex net of not only caring for someone in the sense of like, I don't know, guy pays your bill, or like that person is there for you when you need it, but also affection and respect and presence. And I don't know what else she says because I can't remember the quote by heart yet. And that really spoke to me because I never thought of love as all those things. Love has always been a feeling. A feeling that to me feels a lot like a drug sometimes. I cannot handle being single well. I always feel like I need the opinions of another person, and that feeling of being desired to feel any worth as a person. That is obviously very unhealthy, because whenever I fuck things up with someone that I'm dating or I get dumped, I'm like, this is all my fault because I suck. And that is only starting to change now. I'm single, and I look at myself and I'm like, damn, I'm low-key bad. Like, I'm low-key, this is the first time that I look in the mirror and I'm single and I don't have someone telling me like, oh my God, you are so hot every 2 seconds, because it's their obligation as my partner, that I look in the mirror and I'm like, you know, I am cute. I am pretty. And that feels so alien to me. My mom, when I broke up and I told her, she's like, the thing that gets you most in a breakup is not the person, but the lack of routine. The lack of easy dopamine. That when you're sad, you can't go up to that person and just cuddle until you feel better. And ultimately, on paper, that is better, because if you're sad, that there's a reason and you have to be able to solve it. And if you linger with that sadness by itself, it makes you angry to solve it. Like, oh my God, like, it makes you less complainy, I guess. I still complain a lot to my friends. Nothing has made me value my friends more than being single. But I'm only learning that now. I'm only learning to be single now. And that feels very weird. That feels so weird. I feel hot and I had nobody to show. Like, it's such stupid little things when you look at it in retrospect. But going forward, I feel so scared of getting into relationships because it all feels like a gamble. It all feels like somebody finally understands you. Somebody's finally on your level. And then they don't. It gets revealed that as soon as you expressed individual thought, they stopped considering you a person. That applies mostly to guys. I remember my first sapphic relationship. It felt divine. Like, it literally felt otherworldly, and it was extremely toxic. It was the relationship that I had to change schools for. But at the time, I knew that it was bad. I knew that it was awful. But it was so much better than anything else I've had before. Which was men. Men was before. And I felt like that when you're in a same-sex relationship, I know I've talked about this before, but anyway, there's a deeper understanding. I feel like there's a deeper connection because you connect on a gender basis, and that's a lot more than you'll get with guys, connection-wise. And so I feel like you can expose your feelings a lot more because it's, not only more stuff that they can relate to, but I feel like girls just like understand more. And they don't look down on you because you are a woman. Even if guys say that they're feminists, to an extent, they still look down upon you because it is instilled in them. And it benefits them, so why should they change? And, yeah, obviously, we're still a very sexist society. That angers me, though. Because I don't know how to rationalize my love as an action, like Bell Hooks says. I know that loving is an action. I know that loving is something that you consciously give out, and something that, it's not just a feeling. The feeling of connection, it's not the same feeling as love. And yet, I can't stop myself from hanging onto my past. Even though I've given my past so much thought and so much, and years of therapy trying to, rationalize what happened to me, it just feels like without the specific instructions on what to do, I feel very lost. And I feel that way especially because even if I reach a very sound, this is epitaphy, by the way, even if I reach a very sound conclusion to what love is and what type of love is healthy, you never know the person you date. You never know the person who you're gonna meet. You never know if you're gonna find someone who actually understands you. And that is terrifying. That is scary. Cause like obviously you have to be, you know, self-sufficient and all that. But I don't know. It feels pathetic to admit that for me, I want to find love. And it's terrible. All I hear now is stories of people going like, oh my god, dating in 2025 is impossible. Or, oh my god, I don't know. All I hear are bad things about love nowadays. Vogue says having a boyfriend is embarrassing. We're fucked. So what can I do about it? Download Hinge? I guess. Mom Donnie met his wife on Hinge. I can do the same. Liking guys sucks. If being gay was a choice, I swear to God.